All right, welcome to Pregnancy, Birth, and Baby. My name is Abigail Gonzalez, and my husband and I run DNA Essentials. We're out of Houston, Texas, and welcome to the call. So, here's me and my family. We have 3 little girls and a little boy that is going to be born anytime, any day. We are doTERRA Platinums. We've been in doTERRA about 3.5 years. I have a BFA in ballet from Texas Christian University. And after I graduated, I danced professionally for a little while, and then I became a Pilates instructor with the Physical Mind Institute of New York, and worked as a trainer at different gyms and different private studios for many years before I was married and when we were in our early years. And then once I started having kids, I've just been at home with them and learning about essential oils and then teaching about them. They've really been life-changing for us, especially me, and as I've used them with pretty much each of my children. My first, I didn't know about essential oils, but I used and knew about them with our last 3. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful thing. So why would anyone want to use essential oils during pregnancy? A main reason is that many of the drugs and over-the-counter medications aren't safe for pregnancy. So it's very hard to, when you're pregnant, you really want to be taking care of your body and making sure that things you're putting into your body are very safe. So, many of those over-the-counter medications aren't safe. So using essential oils is really a great reason to use them. Also, they work with the body in its natural state, supporting all the body systems. That's really important to know that you're taking in something that's natural to your body. Your body systems. Hi, if you'll mute yourself, that'd be great. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Tiffany. So working with your natural body, right? Because what you take in essentially is the environment for the baby. And also, essential oils are very safe and effective, and they're a natural alternative both for the mother and the baby. So really good reasons why we want to use essential oils. And of course, quality really, really matters when using essential oils. You want to use a high quality CPTG grade oil. It's very important for safety. You're using it on yourself. It could be affecting your body, and that's affecting the baby. So you want to make sure that you're using a really high quality grade. And also, certain constituents in proper amounts must be present for the oil to work properly, and you're only going to find that in a high-grade essential oil. So if you go to the dollar store and you buy a really cheap oil, it's not going to have that same chemical makeup, and so you're not going to get the same result that you would with a higher quality. And purity is destroyed through poor distillation, synthetic revisions, improper sourcing, poor farming, inferior harvesting time, and fillers. So you really want to look for a company that's going to find these things very important and hold them very important. So you want to find someone that's really dedicated to distilling properly, that's dedicated to harvesting where that plant is grown naturally, to give it the best chemical makeup that it can have so that it gives you the best benefit for your body. And so we use and trust doTERRA essential oils. I've been using them for 3.5 years through 3 pregnancies with amazing results. So also be careful what you read. There's a lot of conflicting information about oils in pregnancy, and I'm going to touch on those things. There's a lot of information that is outdated. Now with the quality that doTERRA has brought to the essential oil world, there's a lot of things that don't qualify anymore. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So what are essential oils? They're natural aromatic compounds found in the seeds, the bark, the stem, and other parts of the plants. They are 50 to 70% more potent than the herb itself. So a little goes a long way. We are not talking about using 20 drops of oil in one application or ingesting a whole bottle of oil. We're talking about just a few little drops here and there throughout the day. So a little goes a long way. They're very potent, very powerful, and that's what makes them so great. Now let's talk a little bit about some safety. There's many different opinions. I really think personal intuition and common sense is really important. If you don't feel comfortable with something, then don't do it. There were many things at the very beginning before I knew much about essential oils that I just didn't really feel comfortable with. In fact, I didn't really even feel comfortable with taking essential oils internally at first. And then after researching it and learning more about it, I became very comfortable with it, and now we do it all the time. So, but that was a process for me. So use just your own personal intuition there. Essential oils during pregnancy have not been studied, and oils are not regulated. And so there's a vast difference in quality and purity, which also dictates what oils are safe or not. So like I talked to you about before, you know, there's lots of information out there saying that essential oils maybe weren't safe for pregnancy, but that was before doTERRA was on the scene and before their level and high level of purity was brought to the table. So things will be a little bit different when using a doTERRA essential oil. There are no known cases of essential oils causing a miscarriage. In fact, the only adverse reactions reported are from insanely high overuse of an oil, like taking a whole bottle of oil and ingesting it, okay? Those are the only times when there's been any adverse reactions. With normal use, they are completely safe with a good high-quality oil. Again, like I said, we're using very small amounts, we're using it safely, and we're using a high-quality oil, so there's really no worries there. And there's many great resources and books for research by nurses and midwives who feel very comfortable with using them. I have many books that I learn from on a continual basis. I have my own experience through 3 children. So, you know, there's lots of resources out there for you. So just a few guidelines. During pregnancy, we want to use a lower dose during pregnancy and also dilute. During pregnancy, our skin is much more sensitive. We're more sensitive to the sun, we're more sensitive to chemicals, we're more sensitive to things. So we want to use a lower dose of oil and then also just dilute. I personally dilute all the time, even when I'm not pregnant. I just think that the dilution process just helps it go on the skin better for massage purposes and again, a better surface area on my body. Be more conservative with internal use during pregnancy. I am more conservative. I really only ingest the citrus oils and maybe a few other really gentle oils while I'm pregnant. There are some oils that I'm fine with ingesting. In fact, I'm fine with ingesting all of them when I'm not pregnant, but there's a few that when I am pregnant, they can irritate the lining of my stomach, like the hotter oils like cinnamon and On Guard. So I usually just use those topically. So be sure also to use a very pure, high-quality essential oil. Like I said before, they must be pure to offer the benefit and minimize the risk. So some common cautions that some people will, you know, if you look on the internet and you're reading just any kind of source, you'll see these come up a lot. So there are certain oils that act on the uterus. And those oils are clary sage, black pepper, myrrh, jasmine, and thyme. Now, acting on the uterus just means that those oils support the uterus, okay? It's important to note that oils will not put the body into labor, okay? There are many mechanisms in the body that have to come into play, and they all have to work together to help make the body go into labor, right? So an oil is not going to do it. An oil won't make your body go into labor until your body's in labor or ready for labor. So a lot of people are really cautious about these oils that have to do with the uterus, but myrrh is a wonderful oil to be using during pregnancy. Clary sage is one that I probably wouldn't use on its own. It's a very strong oil. But it is in a blend called Clary Calm that doTERRA sells, and that's really wonderful for hormonal support, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But it would be fine in that blend. It's not very potent in that blend, but maybe by its own, I wouldn't use it until, close to 40 weeks pregnant. So also the emmenagogic oils, those are peppermint, Roman chamomile, frankincense, marjoram, lavender, ginger, rose, cinnamon, rosemary, and marjoram. And those increase the blood flow to the pelvic area. Now, there's a lot of oils in there that are really gentle and safe, and you would never think that that's what they are used for. And by increasing the blood flow to the pelvic area doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be a bad thing. So you have to understand that the mechanism that makes the female body menstruate is completely different than the mechanism in the body for labor and miscarriage. So there's nothing wrong with bringing blood flow there, especially when we know that those mechanisms are different and that the oils don't interact with that. So peppermint, and I mean, one of my top oils to use during pregnancy, frankincense, absolutely, marjoram, lavender, ginger, all of those really, really good ones. And common sense is key. Don't do what makes you feel uncomfortable. And remember that we only use a few drops at a time. We never encourage a large amount of oil to be used at any time. So what are our 3 ways to use them? We use them aromatically. A really great way to use them, especially during pregnancy. Our sense of smell influences many physiological pathways in our body. Breathing in a pure essential oil by way of diffusing can purify the air, promote emotional benefits to our body, and eliminate odors and airborne pathogens. So diffusing is a wonderful way to lift your mood, to help purify your air, and to help you feel motivated. Also topically, doTERRA oils have an immediate localized benefit by restoring and calming our body. The chemical structure of essential oils allows them to be absorbed into the bloodstream via the skin for internal benefit throughout the body. Now, you can use an oil topically, say you're needing some digestive support, then you just rub it on your stomach. You're needing to ease some aches and pains in your neck and shoulder, then you'd rub it on your necks and in your shoulder. Also, using them on the bottoms of the feet is a great place. It just is a really great localized place to put it so that it can enter into the body and get into all the organs in about 21 minutes. Also, the third way is to use them internally, and I talked about how I'm a little more conservative. I'm using the oils internally for pregnancy, but it is very safe. doTERRA oils can also be used as dietary supplements, supporting a variety of health conditions. Some oils have powerful antioxidant properties. Some help support healthy inflammatory response in cells. And also, do not use an essential oil internally unless it is a pure therapeutic grade like doTERRA. It's really, really important part of that. So what's our baseline pregnancy support? Well, it would be obviously taking a prenatal vitamin, some supplements, right? The Lifelong Vitality Pack is a wonderful prenatal supplement. I have absolutely loved it and felt a huge difference in each of my pregnancies. My energy is supported and I have it throughout the day. My digestion is supported. My moods are much better and supported. So it just helps in many, many areas. And I feel really confident about taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack because I know that these vitamins are formulated to be assimilated into my body at the correct amounts that my body needs it. And also, a lot of people question the folic acid in the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And it's actually that folic acid that they're using, they use it because that is the best folic acid that our body can take in and use. So we don't have any excess in our bodies, which is really important. Terrazyme. Terrazyme is not a supplement I took until probably my last pregnancy. I just didn't know to even take it. But Terrazyme are digestive enzymes, and they really support proper digestive function. And they help you to gain important nutrients from your food. So when you're eating, your body sometimes doesn't have the enzymes, because we don't get those enzymes from our food anymore, to help break down so that we can get the nutrition we need from our food. So taking the Terrazyme has been really, really crucial to helping support that in your body. So you're getting more nutrition from the food that you're eating, and that's an important thing. Taking PB Assist, that is a probiotic, doTERRA's probiotic, and I've been on a few probiotics, and PB Assist is my favorite. It has a prebiotic and a probiotic in it together, and that's a really important combination for helping the bacteria to get where it needs to go so that your body can take it in. It boosts the good bacteria, and it also gives the baby a great dose of probiotics. It's very important during the 3rd trimester especially to be taking a really good probiotic, because at that time you're really passing some of that good bacteria to your baby. So when they're born, their gut is really supported as well. And as if you've been to my webinars before, you'll know gut health is one of my passions. It's so, so, so important. Our whole bodies revolve around our gut health. Another good supplement to take is the bone nutrient complex to support proper magnesium levels in the body. Magnesium is really, really important during pregnancy. It just really helps to support the body, helps support the muscles, helps to help them relax. So that's a really good one to take. And also chiropractic care. I have seen a chiropractor every week of this pregnancy, and I am so grateful for that. My first baby was breech, and I had to have a cesarean with her. And so having the baby in the proper position for birth is really, really important. And having chiropractic care weekly really helps with that. So what are some oils that help support our digestive system? Well, one of the top oils is ginger. And ginger helps soothe feelings of nausea, and it actually can block the receptor pathways of nausea. So ginger is a really, really great oil for that. I personally do not like the taste or smell of ginger when I'm pregnant. In fact, I don't even really like it when I'm not pregnant, but especially when I'm pregnant. So I usually use ginger on the bottoms of my feet, or I'll take it in a capsule. Another good one is peppermint. And you can diffuse peppermint, inhale it from the bottle or your hands, or put it on a cloth and smell it. It's really a great way to use peppermint to help to ease those feelings of nausea. Also helps give you a little bit of instant energy, especially in that first trimester. You're so exhausted all the time. So that peppermint was really helpful for me. And then, of course, both of these oils are in the Digestin blend. That helps support all aspects of digestion, and can be diluted and applied topically to the tummy, or taken internally, or swallowed with water. So this would be one of the ones that I would take internally. Obviously ginger, and I would take peppermint internally as well. And then all the citrus oils, drinking them in your water every day is really important to help just maintain a nice cleansing of the body and help with proper elimination and really support the digestive system that way. So also mood support for pregnancy. Your mood's everywhere. You've got all these hormonal things happening in your body, right? And sometimes you feel a little crazy. So I'm so grateful for these mood oils. Serenity is a calming blend. It really supports healthy sleep cycles. So that would be one to use at night. It lessens your anxiety, and it really promotes relaxation. Sometimes I like to put that in the bathtub before I go to bed after a long day. Citrus Bliss really promotes feelings of happiness and energy, or any of the citrus oils. There's grapefruit and lime and lemon and bergamot, wild orange. Those are all wonderful. But Citrus Bliss is just kind of a blend of all of them, and it smells really yummy too. Then there's Elevation, which is a personal favorite. It really helps to lift your mood, and I wear Elevation daily. And I put it on with the next oil, which is Balance, which helps to ground your emotions. And I actually like to mix any of the emotional oils with Balance. They go really well together. And the Balance just helps ground your emotions. And then the other mood oil can go right to work in really helping to elevate your mood in your body. And then, of course, mood support, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the LLV, really helps to support your mood. It does wonders for that. It really helps to support all those body systems to work in balance. And now we have the new emotional aromatherapy oils, which are Forgive, Cheer, Passion, Peace, Motivate, and Console. And those are great for emotional support, and perfectly safe and good to use during pregnancy. One of my favorites for this pregnancy has been Motivate, because it has peppermint in it. And peppermint just does really good things for me. Plus, it just really helps to alleviate, feelings of nausea and those kinds of things, like I said before. So that has been one of my favorite emotional support oils for this baby. So soothing the aches and pains that happen. There is Past Tense, which I use a lot to ease my head tension. And I just rub it on my temples and the back of my neck. And it's a very, very powerful oil. And sometimes in pregnancy, smells don't go very well. So you want to be really cautious of that with yourself. And if something isn't smelling good to you, then you don't have to use it. There's lots of other options. Past Tense is just one blend. And it also can be diluted. You can just put a few drops in your own roller bottle if it's a little too intense. And that way it kind of takes the intensity out of it. And then there's peppermint. I also really love to use peppermint for head tension and neck tension. It's really cooling for me, especially with I get a lot of hot flashes when I'm pregnant, so peppermint is always my go-to. And then there's lavender, marjoram, and frankincense. And those are my favorite for an Epsom salt bath at the end of the day. And I put maybe 2 or 3 drops of each in my bath with about a cup of Epsom salts, and it's wonderful. My body really feels rejuvenated after that. And then 2 great ones for back support are the Deep Blue Rub and the Aroma Touch, and I like to layer those. So I do the Aroma Touch first, which is a blend, and it really helps promote circulation and relaxation. And I'll rub that on, or actually I have my husband help me. He rubs it on my back and up and down my spine, and then we layer on top of that the Deep Blue Rub. And that has really helped support my back. And more things that help support the body as it's growing through pregnancy. During pregnancy, you really need some round ligament support, and I really needed that a lot during this pregnancy. In the first trimester, the round ligaments are as small as your pinky finger, and by the end of the 3rd trimester, they have stretched as long as a pencil and are as thin as it's lead. So it needs a lot of support by that 3rd trimester. The round ligament support, layer Aroma Touch and white fur on the low abdomen as often as needed. That has been a really wonderful support these last few weeks. Also, the sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in the body, and it starts in the low lumbar and extends all the way down the leg. Now, you don't even have to be pregnant to have sciatic pain, but it is one of those things that is kind of everybody gets it at that very end stage of pregnancy. And here's a really great recipe just to help support that in your body. And it's 7 drops of helichrysum, 4 drops of lavender, 7 drops of marjoram, and 7 drops of Roman chamomile. And you put that in a 10 milliliter roller bottle and fill it up with fractionated coconut oil. And you can use that as often as you need to help support that area. Now, if you don't have Roman chamomile or it's not available to you, that's fine. I just use the first 3, and it gives me really great results as well. Now, skin support. The skin can get, as your belly grows and you're going through different stages, the skin can get itchy, and it can get, it's stretching, and you're going through a lot of changes. So some oils that really help with that are lavender, myrrh, geranium, and frankincense. And I love this moisturizing recipe of 10 drops each of citrus bliss, lavender, wild orange, cypress, and 5 drops of geranium, and you add that to a base of 6 ounces of fractionated coconut oil. And I just rub that all over. It really just supports the skin, the health of the skin. And then there's also Immortelle, which is a blend, and it's a blend that's created specifically for skin and longevity. It was named appropriately, and it has countless benefits. A favorite blend. It's a powerhouse of oils. It's quickly become the oil of choice for soothing the perineum area after childbirth as well. Really, really good. I'll talk, there's another recipe I'll share with you for that as well. 20 to 30 drops in a 15 milliliter bottle, and fill the rest up of your spray bottle with fractionated coconut oil, and then put a little spray top on top of that. Really supportive. And then, so for labor support, what are some of the things that we can do? Some of my favorite things, like I talked about, to help support the back are Deep Blue and Aroma Touch. Those are very safe and can be used beautifully during labor. You know, some people don't like to be touched during labor. I really, that back massage really, really helps me. So layering Aroma Touch and Deep Blue, again, in that area can be very, very helpful and support you. Some recipes. So you want, you know, if you're feeling tense, you want a relaxation spray, and you can put 20 drops of lavender, 15 drops of wild orange, and 15 drops of peppermint in a 4-ounce spray bottle just with water. And then you would shake it, because the oil and the water don't mix, so you'd want to shake it. And then you could spray it. You could just spray it in front of you, or spray it on a paper towel or a handkerchief, and then smell it from that. An energizing spray would be 15 drops of wild orange, 10 drops of bergamot, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of clary sage in a 4-ounce spray bottle with water, and again, shake it for moments when you need a little bit more energy. And then I love to diffuse while I'm in labor, and that can be whatever is pleasant to you. Again, in different stages of labor, you go through various emotional states, and various things happen to you. And so sometimes smells can be irritating to you. And so if that's the case, then you don't have to diffuse or anything. And that's why I like to use my Aroma Ace in labor, because I can just switch that off. And it also goes in spurts. So it's on for a few seconds, and it'll be off for like 10 to 15 minutes. And I prefer to diffuse wild orange and peppermint. Again, the peppermint really helps ease my feelings of nausea, and I always seem to get a little bit nauseous. And the orange really peps me up and gives me some energy, and so I really like to diffuse that. Some people really enjoy relaxation oils, but I really need to be pepped up. So, and then for some postpartum support, for those after birth pains, you know, to soothe those aches, especially in the abdomen, lavender and white fir and clary calm. And clary calm is that blend that I talked about at the beginning that has clary sage in it. Are really, really beneficial just to really help to ease and soothe those aches, especially when you're breastfeeding and all those things, and the uterus is contracting and going back down. It can be really, really painful. And so that really helps to support that and to ease it. For breastfeeding support, clary sage, basil, fennel, and also it's important to get adequate amounts of zinc. Many women don't have adequate amounts of zinc, and so oftentimes when that happens, they have issues with having enough breast milk, having enough production. So when that is happening and you do feel like you have a dip in your production, then go and add a little bit of some zinc to your regimen. Peppermint can assist with decreasing the supply in some women, so be cautious after delivery. I've never had a problem with peppermint during the pregnancy, just after. And I usually avoid it for about the first 3 months, just to make sure that my supply is well established. And then, like I said, some women aren't affected by peppermint at all, but some really are. And so just be cautious about using it. Maybe just use it in blends if you needed to. I got really afraid of peppermint with my second baby, and I was afraid of even just using, because I would apply peppermint or blends with peppermint on my kids, on their feet, and I would be afraid that it was on my hands and it was going to make my milk decrease, but it never did. And if I ever felt like I was having a decrease, I would just grab my fennel or my basil and just rub a few drops on the top of your breast. And it always took care of any kind of decrease for me, and really helped support support our breastfeeding. We were able to go for over a year. And then also postpartum emotions. My go-to is balance, elevation, and frankincense for after delivery, and I make my own roller bottle, and I keep it with me always, and I just rub it. I put it on behind my ears, back of my neck, and on my wrists, and sometimes over my heart. I want to be careful there because I'm holding the baby a lot, right? So I usually just keep it to my neck area and my wrists so that I can smell it. And it really supported me majorly after our last baby was born, and I'm not going to go without it ever again. And then another really beneficial thing are to make your own soothing pads. And I like to use 20 to 30 drops of lavender and or geranium to a bottle of witch hazel, and shake that up and add it to your maxi pads, and then put those pads in the freezer. And you can pull them out as they're needed. They can stay in there until you need them. And that's a really great healing thing to do, along with, of course, your peri spray of Immortelle or lavender, geranium, helichrysum, and frankincense. Now, talking about newborn care, using essential oils on newborns is completely safe. We just use way, way, way less and very, very, very diluted because they are so powerful. So after birth, for bonding and grounding, I like to make I take a 10 milliliter roller bottle. I put just 1 drop of balance and just 1 drop of frankincense. And that lasts me a good month or more. So, you know, it's not very concentrated. There's not very much in there because they're just little tiny people. And I like to rub that on the bottom of the infant's feet and maybe up and down the spine. Really, really good for their calming and their grounding and their bonding with you. You know, sometimes birth can be traumatic, and that just really helps their little systems come back to being balanced. There's a calming blend for baby. I use the same 10 milliliter roller, and I put just 1 drop of Serenity or Roman chamomile and balance, and I rub that on baby's feet, probably usually more at night or whenever they're needing extra support for being calm. And for skin support for baby, I do 1 drop of myrrh on the umbilical cord, and that really helps to dry up that umbilical cord and help it to be healthy. And then for digestive support for baby, I like to start with 1 drop of lavender and 1 drop of orange in my roller bottle. And that's what I start with when they're real, real tiny. And I just rub that right around their belly button and probably on the bottoms of their feet. And you can just use that with every feeding if you needed to. And then for immune support, I'm a big stickler on boosting immune systems. And you know, when you have a new baby, people are excited. They want to come over. They want to hold your baby. Or you have other little children at home, siblings that bring things in from school. So if you feel like your baby would need an immune boost from all of that, then I make a roller of 1 drop of Melaleuca and 1 drop of lemon, and I use that on the bottoms of their feet twice a day. In the morning when they get up, and in the evening before they go to bed. And then for a diaper soother, I make a little spray bottle with about 4 drops each of Melaleuca, lavender, and frankincense in a spray bottle. Fill the rest up with fractionated coconut oil, and that's what I use for their diaper area to soothe any kind of skin issues or irritations that might happen. So how do I get your oils? Well, you can get them retail or you can get them wholesale. Retail, it only makes sense if you only want to purchase 1 item. And still, if you still want to purchase 1 item, I still recommend the wholesale because it's just cheaper in the long run. It's the best way to buy. It's just like Costco. It's $35 for a year's membership. There's no commitment to buy anything else. So you're not getting yourself into any weird buying situation where you have to buy X amount. And you enjoy the 25% off of your first purchase and all your future purchases. So it's really, all in all, the best way to go. The membership fee is also waived when you buy a kit. And they have pre-made kits that really set you up with the oils that you would need. And there's lots of different ones to choose from. So if you would like more information about that, I'm happy to help. Here's my name, there's my email address, and if you'd like to be a part of my Facebook page, it's called Simple Wellness with DNA Essentials, and anyone is welcome on that page. It's just a wellness page. I talk about essential oils, healthy recipes, different health and wellness topics, and you just need to friend me and message me and tell me you'd like to be a part of that group. I'm happy to add you. And or if someone invited you to this class, just get with them and they can help you get the oils that you need. So anyways, I would now like to, I'm going to stop the recording and thank you all for coming and listening. And I will take any questions that anyone has.